should be back.
Is there a way to know if we're back?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. Apparently only one of our mics is working because we're professionals. So Ray has given me his mic, and I am going to repeat any of the questions that he gives me as he reads them off the forums. In the meantime, I'm going to keep attempting to play, although once again, we'll probably just end up auto-playing.
Cool. So let's step back and let's go back to that edge scrolling.
Okay. Yes. All right. So we had a question of whether there's going to be edge scrolling. We are definitely planning on edge scrolling. As a matter of fact, at one point I thought it was in, and I don't know what happened. But we are going to make sure it's in. It probably won't be in for beta 2, but it will definitely be in the final game. It's more or less just as soon as we get around to making sure it works correctly. In the meanwhile, you can always drag, although I know that's not as convenient for some people who are playing on laptops and such.
Cool.
Also, when we started before, even though nobody heard it, we mentioned that we were going to show you some new stuff, but something got messed up and I couldn't get the build to work. So rather than putting off the stream for another half hour, we're going to go ahead and demo, but we're actually playing the public beta. So this is what you already have. So there's really not much new to show. Matter of fact, I might let them duel and we'll just do a lot of questions.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. We have a question from Larson X. Can we get a notification on where the shipyard is that is not building anything? Same as what we're asking for with the combat notification.
If you click on the idle shipyard button, it'll take you to the shipyard. It should take you to the shipyard. I will confirm that. And we don't want to throw up a lot of pop-ups. So ideally what it does is at the end of the turn, if a shipyard goes idle, you the turn button will prompt you, and then when you click that button, it'll go. As a matter of fact, well, now I ruined it by toggling AI. I could have showed you that. Okay, next. Did I repeat the question?
No.
Crap. Hopefully they heard.
Yeah. No,
All right,
sorry.
sorry.
This is from 11th Star. Will there be any way besides direct logistics research to increase your logistics? For example, some form of trade-off, like you can put 25% more ships in your fleet, but they all do 25% less damage, or ideally.
Well, we don't have anything quite. Okay. Anyways, this question is about logistics, whether there will be ways other than text to raise logistics. And essentially, yes, we're going to. There are multiple ways to raise logistics. There are faction abilities that will raise your logistics points. There are improvements that will give you global logistics points. There may actually be events and ideologies that give you logistics points. One of the cooler thing is the Hyperion Logistics Center. If you build it, every time you build an adjacent military structure, it gives you one more logistics point. So you actually can get your logistics quite high. I know it seems a little low right now, but yeah, it's going to be pretty. You can get pretty darn high late game.
Huh.
And also you can get things. Oh, actually, I said that wrong. The Hyperion Logistics Yard actually makes the ships built on that planet take less logistics points. So therefore, you could fit more in a fleet. Oh, hey.
Actually, real quick, just to test, did I fix the microphone by chance?
Is anybody? Oh, look, I got a crash. So I am really confused what version we are playing here.
It's an interesting one.
Let's look at the number. Because that shouldn't have given me an
Cool.
global event. So is your mic working?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
Someone,
so now I don't have to repeat the question.
someone cleverly turned it off.
All right, well, that was embarrassing. We got a crash here. Well, I'll try and pull up the UP and see if it works, and then we'll know what build this is. All right,
Okay,
so do you have another
cool.
question?
Let's move on to the next one. From a Steam user, not noted. I would like to know when the parts exporting feature will be implemented into the game. I have many designs I'd like to make individual custom ship parts for, and add them to my parts menus for easier shipbuilding.
I guess I'm not 100% certain what he means. You can already export parts from existing parts, so you can put multiple parts together and save it as a part. Right now, I don't think they're generating thumbnails until you exit and re-enter, so that's a bug. If you're referring to importing actual models, that probably won't be something we expose to modders or to anybody until right around gold, because we need to really kind of make sure everything is working exactly right and have all of the graphics pipeline locked down solid. We don't want anybody making parts and then just having to redo them and redo them and redo them. Plus, it's just time that we don't have the right tools because internally things are still changing. So, yeah, sometime around gold, we will let people do that to some degree. There's going to be a lot of stipulations. You'll have to make sure the graphics are in the right format. We'll have a converter that does that. You'll have to make sure the textures are in the right format, and we'll have a thing that converts them, but we'll have a tutorial and some stuff that says here's how to make things work with the game. So yeah, but in the meantime, yes, you can already go into the ship designer and add, put 5 things together and save them as a part, and then use those parts all over your ships. I know that's not totally crazy, but it's pretty amazing to be able to do that.
Okay, this one comes from Blaze of Glory. I know there will be on October-ish beta 2, but we haven't had an update in a couple weeks. Will there be something soon?
No, we're probably done until beta 2, but beta 2 is not, I can tell you, is not far away because I'm spending every minute thinking about it. So, yeah, no, we're locked down till beta 2, and then beta 2 will come out, which is going to be primarily adding the first layers of diplomacy, United Planets, trade, and getting, you won't start off at war anymore, Ascension Victory, the cultural relics, a bunch of little things. A lot of these won't be 100% done, but, it's a beta. And then as we move forward, we'll polish these things up. I mean, most of the dialogue for diplomacy is going to be all filler, but it should work. You should be able to piss off people, have them declare war. You should be able to bribe them to not kill you. You should be able to bribe them to kill somebody else. Should be able to trade resources and ships and establish trade routes and raid trade routes. And so there's all kinds of new stuff coming in. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to spend some time creating a little manual because the game is going to drastically change from its current state, which is just war, war, war all the time.
Okay, now we're left to Twitch questions right now. So for the Twitch questions, from Jimzilla67, are you planning on having glow or particle effects for ship engines?
Yes, both.
All right, cool.
Yeah. No, matter of fact, we're working on that. It's one of those things we wanted to get in earlier, but it's a polish thing, and we've got so many game-related issues and reliability we care about that they drive systems. As a matter of fact, the current plan, or the way it's going to work is, unlike in Gal Civ 2, there won't be a race-specific engine color. Your engine color will be determined by the dominant type of drive you have on your ship. So if you have a ship with ion drives, your drive might be blue with a different blue particle. If you have hyperdrive, it might be red with a different red particle. And that way you could at a glance tell what type of drive system a ship has. And also it just will it'll allow us to have some really neat particles.
All right. Gilmoy has a question. Do the Beta 1 players have access to the Council God command?
I don't know. Honestly, I do not know.
They're typing it, but it doesn't seem to have
there
an
are
effect.
There are some cheats that are only debug.
Yeah. Okay.
And at some point, most of them will all go. Once we're done, we'll start exposing more and more of these things. And also, Some things will be locked in multiplayer, so you won't be able to, do God in multiplayer and stuff like that. But in single player, we're pretty forgiving. If you want to cheat, you can cheat. Now, it will affect your score, and it'll affect your ranking. If you cheat, you essentially don't get ranked. So lots of things like that.
Okay. We have one from Trumpeter87. I know this is a polish point, but will texture scaling make it to beta 2?
I really wanted it to, but I'm worried that it isn't going to, primarily because we had to redo the entire font system.
But of course, redoing that was amazing.
Yeah,
for
it's
performance.
a big deal. It helps performance. It helps with all of these third-party, with the Intel chipsets and it's something we needed to do, but it cost us like 2 weeks of the primary graphics guy's thing, and he's the only one who understands the mystical ship shader. So we're kind of waiting on him for that. But if it's not in beta 2, it'll be in beta 3.
Okay, let's see. Oh, and then Hamelmack would like to know what did the developers take away from the answers to the 3 questions about diplomacy. That was a post Brad had put up, actually, on the forums. That one I know was on the list to check out from Brad. I know that was Brad's post, but I don't know, Paul, if you had a chance to check that one out yet.
I didn't read the post. I don't that you're referring to.
That one? Okay. Yeah.
But I probably had this conversation with Brad.
Yeah, I know you guys had a meeting about it. That's what
the post was. I can answer the question, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I just don't know what was very specifically written.
No, it was just a lot of really good feedback.
Because usually, by the time Brad, goes through this conversation of posting it, we've already talked, or he's come in one day and said, hey, you really need to think about these things when you're talking about diplomacy.
Yeah.
So, I just don't know. I just don't know the specific post you're referring to.
Let's see.
It's kind of embarrassing, but I do have this whole game I need to design. 3 more games I need designed by.
Yeah, the chat is just flying. This is awesome. The chat's flying really quick here. Let's see. Oh, there is curiosity for supernovas being put in as global events. Are you thinking about anything?
I actually have that in the original design doc. I do not know if it will get in, but it is one of those things that will probably eventually show up in an expansion or a DLC or something. It's really kind of a nasty, when you start thinking about it, it's like a supernova could, if we do it right, should really be super powerful and do a lot of things. And it would have to go into the category of super events, of mega events. So when mega events come in, we might do some supernovas. It certainly won't be in beta 2 or 3, but it's on the list. It's in the design doc along with a couple other horrible catastrophes. So we'll see. I got my fingers crossed. Mostly got to get the game solid and done and fun, and then we get to add those kind of weird little polish points.
Okay. Jonah is asking, when will we see the Kryn?
You will see are they in here?
They might not be in this match.
Oh, they're not in this build. You would have seen them tonight.
Would have seen.
Except for I apparently am playing the wrong build.
Yeah. I think next Friday, though, we'll have a more updated build.
I think I had them in last week's video for a brief moment.
Cool.
Yeah, we're actually working on the Kryn. Right, I'm actually making the Kryn tech tree as we speak. Just gave them a solar system, and one of the funny things I'm going to try and do is, because the Kryn are actually a confederation of small races. Their solar system will start with 3 planets instead of 2, and I'm even toying with the idea of you starting with all 3 of them colonized, but really low quality. So that might be kind of things. We're trying to just make it so that they feel a little different just from the get-go. They also have, I don't know if people have been reading the website, but the Kryn have overgone quite a metamorphosis since Galactic 2, where like they're a religious, they're a confederation that's built together based on a single religion, and they were in Galactic 2 they were primarily focused on spreading that religion. Now the wars have happened, they're kind of tired. And essentially what's happened is the underground syndicates have essentially taken over the primary workings of their civilization. So now the government is actually like a puppet government. So they're going to have this really interesting mix of this religious bent and a almost like a mafia bent. So it should be pretty fun. A lot of their crazier abilities won't come in for a while, but they should definitely feel different than anybody else, even in beta 2.
Okay. Here's a pretty big question from Gilmoy. Can we edit shipyard planet links graphically on the main map? Let's see.
Can we edit
via drag and drop? As in, let's see, make those wavy arcs into first-class UI elements with 2 selectable endpoints.
Oh, wow.
Bundle it. Wow, yeah, this is pretty in-depth, actually. It goes a little further. 2, can we bundle a group of planets, shipyard links, so that we can group connect them all to one shipyard with one command, just like using a twisty tie, a bunch of power cables together.
Well, the problem with that is that you don't want that, because every tile of distance of that line actually is a degradation of how much points you're getting to that shipyard. Now, if you're within 6, technically you could bundle them all together. It wouldn't make any difference. So it's the primary constraint is wants them to be pretty. Basically.
Cable management, I
cable
believe.
Management. You wanted some Velcro straps. You could probably park your star here. Let's do a little experiment.
Let's do a little experiment.
Okay, let's add Valis here, and then I can unanchor it. And I want these to be pretty, so I'm going to move this to here. And so that's a little better. So no, there are no current plans to allow cable management. However, I am intrigued by the idea of letting somebody, when you unanchor, drag it. Oh, no, you can't do that because it has to move. So probably, I guess, unfortunately, the answer is no. But certainly it's something it's a neat idea.
Yeah, very much. Let's see. Media Mania, CMM, is really about this supernova idea. And requests that a new star and new planets should be born, and that would be awesome.
That we'll definitely be doing. Matter of fact, in Galactic 2, there was a couple of great events like that where you would late game all of a sudden 10 class 10 planets would suddenly appear, and then everybody would just mad rush for them. So we'll have events that create planets. We'll probably have events that create stars. The supernova scares me a little because to do it right, I would really want it to damage other people's worlds, and that's something that could really anger people. So we'll have to play with that one.
Okay, let's see. Well, that's an awesome answer right there for you. Let's see. I'm just stuck on this name. Galciv_rocks is the username.
I approve of that username.
We approve of this message.
Is that Adam? Is Adam at home right
now? Is Adam? I believe Adam is at home right now, just making false names. Okay. Okay. Here we go. They're asking about pathing, as in will we? Will Wheaton? No, that ain't right.
Be able to set destinations in.
Yeah, automatically.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean automatically?
Let's see. I want every constructor that is created at X star base to automatically go to Y location.
Yes.
Okay.
Matter of fact, we talked about that last week. If you want to watch last week's twit, and I would show it to you. It's this tab right here, but unfortunately, I got the wrong build. Yes, you can say all star bases building this ship. Send it here. All. As a matter of fact, everything you do in Galactic 2, but we added a bunch of new stuff. So you could even say all constructors upgrade to Constructor Mark II, or all scouts upgrade to beam ships, or you can say all. One of the things I really like is that now you can actually all planets, star bases, and shipyards are automatically rally points. So you could say all fighters go to Earth, right? And that way you can really quickly get people moved around. The system is in, it's working. We're actually erring on the side of probably having more governors than we'll ship, and then we'll take them out as they prove to be not useful. And they're actually no longer called governors, they're called commands. And I said, so it's economy, colonies, commands, trade, and stats and graphs. So commands will be in and trades will be in for beta 2. Ironically, the colonies list will not be but it shouldn't be too far off because we're going to start needing it quick.
Okay. Hamel Mac asks, will religion be a playable part of the game?
Well, religion is kind of being rolled into ideology a little.
Yeah.
We like the Kryn are a religious race, and they will have some religious-based abilities. But no, we're not really focusing on anything like that at this point.
Okay.
I mean, it's more of it's a nuance than a primary motivator, if that makes any sense.
Cool.
Hey, why is there nobody here?
Don't need them.
Oh, you know what's happening? This is the beta, but it has the EXE from the further build.
Yeah.
Which has enabled the UP. Oh my God. Okay, so imagine holographic players here, and watch this crash when I vote for myself. No. Oh, hey, yay. It didn't crash.
Let's see. Big Rectangle asks, will there be space monsters? Also, all hail Cthulhu.
I would love to have space monsters. I don't know if they're going to get in the vanilla game. It's one of those things that I have ideas for all these. I have monsters that live in asteroids and that eat your hull. Monsters that live in nebulas, and then like they feed off Illyrium, and I imagine these like big space jellyfish where they come up and they just suck around your ship, and then they start contracting, and when your shield fails they kill you, so they eat your shield, and then I mean you can kill them and run away, but little things like that. So I have a bunch of little ideas for stuff like that. Generally just but like I said, those are polish elements that will probably not be in either the base game, or at least not till we have some time to do crazy polish stuff.
Cool. Media Mania CMM asks, actually they have a question on specializations in the tech tree. For example, industrial specialization. Wouldn't it make the Galciv experience even more unique if you had to choose one specialization instead of being able to research all three of them?
We toyed with that. As a matter of fact, that's how the design was for a while. I felt like it was a little too limiting. I'm not saying that we might not go back to it. The problem is that the whole point of the specializations is to make you make decisions about the direction you want to go. So you can go up further, or you can stay on the bottom and go down. And then it's a little misleading. Maybe we aren't weighting it enough. Maybe we don't make it clear. But let me just really quick say, if I study a manufacturing specialization, then I do internal, and then this one, I actually go up to the next one. I go to the next specialization. That one cost me the exact same as doing one of these would. So the price goes up each time, these specializations. Maybe it's not going up enough, but essentially, if you choose to stay in those specializations, you're actually making everything above you cost way more. So we're trying to do a little bit of both. We want you to feel like, oh, I really want both of these, but do I want to make everything more expensive? And then the beauty of the specializations is late game is when you're king of the world, you can then afford to, which, I've now done industrial mastery, I've done both of these. I can go back to here, and even though this now is god awful expensive, it's worth it for me to get. So the idea is to let players have it, but have it be enough of a penalty where you feel like you have to make a choice. If you don't feel like you have to make a choice, then that's my problem, and I need to fix it.
Okay. Scanning for questions here in the chat. Oh, Vates is trolling in the chat. Let's give a shout out to Vates. He has mentioned that Casper is confirmed as a playable race. Maybe only as a minor, and if you edit the XML, would that be the proper way to... If you want Casper in the game.
I would totally let this autoplay again, but I'm worried it'll crash because of our our INI file. So I guess I have to actually kind of play, but I'm having more fun talking right now.
Okay. Interesting question from Balsamon X or Balsamon FX.
Balsamon.
Exactly. You have to say it like that. You're right. Are there late game super capital ships like 10 times a normal flagship?
Oh yeah, yeah. The huge ships are pretty huge. Let's see. Actually, let's see. Do. I have the A-Team song stuck in my head, by the way. Yeah, so the huge ships are pretty darn big, and you'll be able to, like I said, with whoa, what was that? Did I just blow the game up? This is the joys of developing. Okay. So here we have. Oh crud! I'm playing as the Iridium. Okay, so these are pretty cool. I wanted to show the Terran ones because the Iridium ones are actually still filler in this build, so they don't look as awesome as they should. But so yeah, let's go back to that. So we have this Avatar, which has a 374 beam attack. So as opposed to, 4 or whatever that the early game ones do. And then let's see, go down to here's a cruiser. I see, you can see these using the same ones. Cutter, destroyer, dreadnought.
Oh, those are really cool.
390, 370, 364. Fortress is 408 attack. I mean, these have like crazy moves. This 128 ship range, 26 moves per turn. So yeah, there are some crazy ships late game. Unfortunately, you really have to make it quite a ways into the game before you can unlock these things. A lot of this is all based on the reason why these ships are so powerful is because most of the specializations are taken from the unlock. So these have the smallest, lowest mass, highest range, highest damage weapons, and the lowest mass, fastest engines, and so all of that stuff is on these ships. So here's a Titan, which has a manufacturing cost of, and actually there's a bunch of manufacturing cost reductions. So this is probably half of its actual cost, which is currently at 1,189. So it's probably a 2,000 manufacturing point ship. You can imagine that early game, it would take you 1,000 turns to build it. So so there's some great ships, and we're gonna, each of the race goes all the way up to huge, and then of course you can build your own crazy death ships. So
cool. We actually had a question a little bit up in the chat asking if I don't have the name on it, but they were curious. Can you play after there is a victory?
Yes. As a matter of fact, you already can do that. I'm mad at the Terran.
So it really doesn't matter which kind of victory or anything you achieve?
Okay. There's a couple of things. I'm in a hot debate right now with Derek over whether players should be able to change victory conditions in-game. I am of the opinion that if you are playing single player, I don't care. As long as you're having fun, you can just be halfway through and go, oh, crap, I don't want to get an alliance victory, and then just go disable it. The other option is to say you win the game, oh, crap, I'm going to get an alliance victory. I got it. And then at the end, once we show the victory screen, it says, do you want to keep playing? And I personally feel like if you do it that way, I mean, I guess the best part of that is that then people can't really game their points, but I don't know. So we're debating that. But regardless of how we do it, yes, you can literally just say continue playing after you've won and then play forever. As a matter of fact, I played quite a while after when I was testing the immense maps because they're so big that, it's like, well, why not? Half the galaxy's still unexplored. So you definitely can. The only real question still is how we implement it. So we'll be playing with that probably until gold, until we're happy with how it works.
Cool. Oh, Gilmoy asks, for realism's sake, why are high-end capital ships more nimble and maneuverable than fighters? It seems to tilt the game towards bigger is always better.
They're not. They are definitely not more nimble and maneuverable. They are faster because they can hold more drives. But it's more, okay, so let's go to, let's see, we've got a bomber here. This bomber can do a tactical, oh wait, I don't have anything on here. So this one is a little, this is smaller, so it can't hold as much drive. But it does plenty of damage. But you can put, at this point, when you have a logistics maxed out, you can put about 20 of these in a fleet. Okay, so that's maybe more. So, and then, so essentially, you have 20 of these versus one huge ship, right? They come in, each of them gets an attack per turn, while the one ship gets one. So in the long run, the small ships, actually, if you're going to cheese it, I mean, this is my job to balance this. If you're going to cheese it right now, small ships are actually more powerful. So the difference is that, sure, the giant will take out 1, 2, or 3 of those, but the 20 other ones will blow up the big one, and then you just build 3 more cheap ships. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's misleading. There's a lot of times people think that, well, why? And remember, I just unlocked. So this is all techs unlocked. So, yeah, late game, giant ships. I mean, not even late game. Omega game, completely researched text tree. A giant ship can be quite fast, quite light, but if it all just depends on how you unlock things. It's all about how you want to play the game. And there are strengths to giant ships, and there are strengths to smaller ships. And just depending on how you build up your tree, you can get completely different results.
Cool. Oh, here's actually, we're getting close on time. I want to grab the last few questions out of the chat here. Big Rectangle asks, will you be able to strip mine planets for resources and reduce planet quality in the process?
We don't have, oh, hey, look, the waving is still in. We took that out, by the way. Wow. Okay, this is all one move for this ship. Oh, look, and I still have moves left to blow them up. We don't have anything like strip mining. There is a type of planet, 2 types of planets that can be mined, actually, much like a Illyrium deposit. But they're not strip mined. The only thing that currently reduces planet quality are events or invasions. And we'll probably keep it that way for a while. But you can, like I said, certain invasion types will take out tiles.
With the AI, the design of the AI, is there much modability there? The users were asking about that.
Well, what we're doing is essentially the entire AI is a big set of parameters. You'll be able to actually go in, just like when you create a race for your own self, you'll be able to, there'll be an editor. You can go in and adjust all of its race traits, build your own. And then there's also going to be like personalities, and those personality traits will be adjustable. And then those, once you do that, the AI will then behave differently. So yes, we don't have currently any sort of built-in like scripting or anything, but by just changing the faction def and some of their traits, you can make the AI behave totally differently. So yeah.
Okay. And the last one we're going to grab from the chat today, Media Mania asks, will there be migration in the game? People moving automatically from unhappy and overcrowded planets to happy planets?
It's something I'm playing with, but not currently in the design, no.
Okay.
I've always wanted to actually have like an event where people go, hey, we're leaving. And then you have to like choose what to do about it. So
cool.
We'll be playing with stuff like that.
Cool. Well, that's our time for today. Sorry for the muted mic mix-up, but we were able to fix that, which is awesome.
Alliteration.
And thank you guys for helping us out with that. Once again, I am Ray, the producer on GalCiv, and this is Paul, lead designer. We are signing off for now, but we will catch you guys next Friday.
All right. Bye.